Welcome back, my little recusants, to another episode of our Final Fantasy XII The Zodiac Age 100% guide. We're after getting tons of money there. We'll say thank you for nearly 10k gil. Yes, please. But as you can see, we're still a bit rough for wear after fighting that behemoth dragon. Let's use the Galmore Save Crystal, get rid of all those nasty statuses, and then we'll have a look along. And basically, guys, I'm just at the stage with Bosch where I'm like, okay, let's just, go back. And, it's a bit like when Vaughn got a dagger and then I realized, oh, I didn't actually have, like, dagger 3. How embarrassing. So, as great as it is to get, like, really, really high level stuff, there is also the need to be like, oh, actually, I need to be looking carefully at what I'm getting, where I'm getting it from, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, with Fran, I'm like, ooh, do I get her, like, some white magic? Maybe. Having an extra raise person, always really, really useful. And then, yeah, just checking out what the Amber Amulet does. And as I say, we need to be getting our levels a bit higher, guys. We're early 30s. It's not so bad, but in the exact same breath, it's like, could be better. But yeah, no, our HP stats are good though. I mean, we're after getting so many. What's the word? We're after doing so much grinding with our license points that, we've gotten all the HP augments, is what I'm trying to say. So, our HP is pretty good. We're nearing 3k for everybody. So, we're mirroring our Final Fantasy II situation, And then we're just going to use up the last little bit to basically enter into the Panorama Rift. Palomesia Rift. I can't even remember what the bloody mountain range is called. But what I will say is that we're going to have a little cut where we're going to have been running around this specific area in a big loop over and over again. So as you can see here, it's like a little Grand Prix track. You can pick the high road or the low road, and you can basically run in a circle and collect EXP and license points that way. What you'll have noticed a bit further back is that I found a treasure chest and I was able to collect an ether. Now, the funny thing about those chests is that they are common chests. That is, whenever you go in and out of this area, the common chests will typically spawn. And once we have the common chests, we're able to get ethers pretty much on demand. So you're going to notice when we do the cut, once we get to the Panoresia Rift. Oh god. And it's actually funny because I'm as bad as real life at naming real life geographical places, so I'm glad that it doesn't actually matter what medium the geography is. Place names are just a weakness of mine. But we have a T-Rex and they give really, really good drops. They give really, really good EXP. So take them out. It's really, really useful. And again, so long as we have Fran equipped with the Tibbet, she's getting double EXP, which is obviously brilliant. And yeah, I basically take the time to let everybody get tons of levels, which is good. And with these particular treasure chests, we're getting ethers and high ethers. And because I went through this loop about 20 to 30 times, we ended up with maybe 60 to 70 ethers for our mages. And at the very least now, we know, okay, if we're ever kind of stuck, we can just go to this circuit of the Gallimore jungle for 10, 20, 30 minutes, an hour, and fully stock up on ethers. So, I suppose just to highlight this area as an ether farming hotspot. Are there better ones? Possibly. And I'll just highlight an error or a weakness in my gambits. Because you'll notice that when Fran is getting to a particular level of HP, Ash is healing with a cure spell. And basically that's because Penelo is charged with let's say, I can't even remember what exactly one it is. But hypothetically, Penelo is charged with, if an enemy gets to 30% HP, cast Cura. Whereas Ash might be, if an enemy gets to 50% HP, cast Cure. And then obviously the issue is, Ash is using her MP for a less effective healing spell because Penelo is too low in the percentage to trigger first. But as I've said with Fran, what's really useful is having spells like Raise. So, as in, if Penelo is ever downed, Fran can cast Raise on her to keep the White Mage alive, and then the White Mage can keep any other ally up by casting Raise on anybody else that needs now a bit of a heal, you know? But again, when we do this cut here, when we do the cut going on to the next area, this was basically where we grinded and getting our characters from the 30 to 31 up to, you know, what we get them to after the cut. And we still have Larsa. So OP. So powerful. Drum roll, ladies and gents. The Paramina Rift. So that's where we are. And we're trying to go meet the Grand Kiltias on Mt Bur-Omisace. Where we have to cross through the Paramina Rift to visit him. And basically, guys, we're going to hit that save crystal, and then the next second we're going to have had loaded in from the save crystal after a bit of grinding. So, see ya after an hour of playtime. We're here with Balthier and Larsa. Everyone's bar Ash, but you'll notice that you'll know why I didn't level up Ash is because she is able to power level all by herself. And just as another example, this is where having only 2 characters in the fight means that you're getting way more experience for just those 2 characters. Balthier is getting literally 500 EXP, but because he has equipped the embroidered tibbet, he's getting 1000 per KO. And as you can see, his next level is going to be in 20,000, so he just needs to kill 20 enemies, and Bob's your uncle. He'll be leveled up again. The Paramina, oh Jesus, I can't say it. The Paramina Rift has plenty of enemies, so we're not going to be running short of enemies, and certain enemies are giving well over 1000 EXP per KO. So we will be seeing this level up sooner rather than later. And then once we get that, we're able to bring in Ash, and then she'll be able to do all the grinding as well. Obviously, sturdy bones, you know that from like the time when we were in the Lushu mines. Skeletons are brilliant enemies in order to collect bones from, and the bones do end up giving tons of money when sold to a merchant as loot, so always good to have and to know. And then obviously we have that pack of wolves here, so this is where just having your variety of enemies is, or allies, is good. Like Larsa can run up, do the physical attacks. What I've noticed about the enemy AI though is that the enemy AI will chase down the party leader more likely than not. So that does end up, when you have a ranged character as the party leader, a bit of a pain, because they'll all swarm the party leader, and if your party leader is meant to be a ranged attacker with not very good armor, then I'm afraid you're in a bit of bother, you know? And then I'm just here like, where is this mountain? Oh my god, what way am I going? It can be very easy to get turned around, but at the same time, we do need to fully map every area in the game for the cartographer achievement. So sometimes aimlessly wandering through a zone just to make sure that we completely explore everything is part of the game challenge, and if we can fully map an area now, it means we won't have to backtrack as much. The fact as well that like they've renamed Soft as the Gold Needle really messed with me when looking for, like, every time I see it I'm like, oh yeah, that's a Soft. And even though like in 10, Soft when used was literally like a magical needle, you know, situation. So I shouldn't be that surprised. We're just fighting away with some onions here now, which is pretty good. This reminds me of the rogue tomato, except instead of tomatoes we have onions. We get that lovely succulent fruit, a very handy thing to sell. And just past this area we're going to load into a cutscene, so I'll talk to you after that.
Empires parade down city streets while refugees walk barefoot through the snow.
And so I sue for peace, to stop short war and ease their suffering. My father will choose peace.
Will he now? You sound sure of yourself. You can never know another, even your father.
Don't take it the wrong way, Kay.
This crisis would not end were I gone. The Senate hates the very fact that House Solidor exists. By necessity, we must find reason to silence them.
Necessity? Ah, yes, necessity. Does that word free you, I wonder? You show no hesitation to solve matters with blood.
The sword of House Solidor cannot be left to rust in doubt. It was you, Excellency, who tempered that sword.
Is this your idea of vengeance?
It is my idea of necessity. If we do not act now, it is not only our future you imperil.
So, you would dirty your hands to keep his clean.
My hands are stained with blood. I see little reason to stay them now.
So they are. And so House Solidor lives on.
So, poor old Larsa is basically realizing, maybe are we actually the baddies? Like, are we the baddies? We're kind of sending people fleeing to like the religious sanctuary in the mountains because life in the cities, in the newly conquered cities, is actually terrible. Not a great look, Larsa. It's not the vibe. But this is where it's so important to have your status healers on point. Because like that, Balthier was blind, and then even before his ATB for attacking was finished, Larsa was like, bam, healing, done. But now we've given him the like blind immunity, the blind immunity accessory, so like, you know, that problem's never going to happen again. But now it's like, make sure you have people wearing the lovely golden amulet, the 2 golden amulets. Just make sure people are all wearing them. It's very, very important. And then, yeah, just make sure you're optimizing your gear. And, like, now he's level 35. Everyone's 35 bar Penelo. But, like, she's the white mage. She's going to basically be in so many fights that she'll be fine. Penelo will be fine, you know? But again, when you're in an area, just take note of what's dropping out of chests. Because just like the ether area before, it can be so important just to make sure that, like, you're like, oh wait, if this drops potions, maybe this could be a handy area just to farm high potions in, etc. And here's where I was like, oh, do I have... I'm looking at my spells being like, oh my god, wait a second. We actually have, like, base fire, base blizzard, base thunder. It's like, do I have the Aura spells yet? Where are these Aura spells? Should Ash be using the Aura spells? Or Fyra, Bizarra, the Ra spells, you know? I'm like, hang on a second here. Wait a second. And then I'm like, is it up or down? Is it up or down? Which way is it? But I love how, like, I then realize, oh, Larsa and Ash both need to make their way to Mt Bur-Omisace. And it's like, look at our party. It's literally Larsa and Ash making their way through the mountains. Suit of shielded armor. That's pretty nice for Bosch. I'm really glad that I bought him that. And it's here when I realize, oh my god, is her magic that weak? Is fire giving that little? And then I'm like, maybe it's the katana. Maybe the katana is too kind of battle magey, where it's like, oh, you can attack and you can do this. Maybe the flame staff is like, you know, where it's at. If we're going to be casting fire all the time, I'm pretty sure flame staff does like you know, fiery damage. And this is where I go, oh my god, I'm such a dummy. We literally have like Aura spells and I've not been using them. So, like, thank god we eventually made that decision. Beautiful cutscene. It is so lovely. Oh my god. Mt Bur-Omisace. So, like, in fairness, if you're going to be, like, sequestering yourself away to, like, mountainous monastical living, you could be living in a worse place. Now, we finally made it to the Gran Kiltias. There's a little save crystal there. It's looking awesome. And right now we're going to just super speed ourselves along until we've sold all the loot from all the grinding and, like, purchase a couple of useful accessories. I'm like, wait a second. There's certain accessories here that, like, are cheap enough, but I also just have 0 in our inventory. So, like, should we just equip something of all these? You know? Terrain effects, useful. High potions, we can now buy them now. That's pretty slick. And then I'm like, actually, yeah, I should make sure I have at least, like, 30-ish of, like, any and all the stuff. Give me everything. Like, yeah. And then we have some techniques, and we have some new magics. Curaga, Blizzara, Darkra, all amazing. All absolutely aged amazing stuff there. So we are now going to see our gambits evolve even more now, which will be good. And now I'm like, oh, actually, yeah, if we get, like, super low, attack. If they get super low, take them out of their misery. But yeah, I'm like, yeah, we should put Curaga down as, like, just a single target. Boop! There you go. Big heal. And now we can have our Blizzara, Thundara. And then, yeah, I go for Fira purely because I'm like, actually, yeah, it's important that we're using fire with the fire staff. Just, you know, it doesn't expressly say it, but there definitely is a massive bonus given to your fire attacks and fire spells and fire damage when equipped with particular elemental equipment. So, like, the burning bow, for example, gives increase to fire damage. So when you do the burning bow and then the flaming arrows, which basically make your regular attacks fire-based, You know, there's a big boost to your attack damage there. Similarly, Flame Staff, you know, probably makes our fire attacks really good. Likewise, if we're going to be looking at getting maybe a Frost Scepter, Staff, whatever, you know, yeah, probably using ice with the ice staff makes sense. The Rod of Storms maybe or something like that, yeah, would make sense that also would do more damage. But basically, guys, you know, we did a lot of traveling, did a lot of shopping, did a lot of upgrading, messed around with the gambits. There's now going to be a long cutscene, so I'm going to pause here. I've been the RPG Recusant. You've all been amazing. Leave a like, leave a comment, and I hope to see you on the next video. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Is he sleeping?
No, my child.
Whoa.
I do not sleep. I dream. For reality and illusion are a duality. Two parts of a whole. Only the mirror of dreams reflects what is true.
Anastasis, Your Grace. I am
Lay
Ashelia.
down your words. Ashelia, daughter of Ramanas, I have dreamt your dream. Who better to carry on the Dalmascan line than she who bears the Dawn Shard? Your dream of a kingdom restored is known to me.
Gran Kiltias, then give us your blessing. Grant the Lady Ashe her
I
accession
do not
to the...
suppose this is something you might reconsider. My little Emperor-in-Waiting, you called and I have come.
This is the man I wanted you to meet. Believe it or not, he is a member of the noble house Margrace, rulers of the Rosarian Empire.
I am but one of very, very many. Try as I might, I could not stop this war alone. Thus, I came seeking Lars's assistance. Alcide Margrace at your service. To think I stand before the Lady Ashe, it is truly an honor. I see it is true after all. Stunning is Dalmasca's desert bloom.
In Arcadia, Larsa. In Rosaria, Alcid. They dream not of war. Should empire join with empire, the way will open for a new Ivalice in our time.
Gran Kiltias, you speak much of dreams, but in the real world, war is upon us.
Gran Kiltias. I was told my coming here would prevent this war. I was to assume my father's throne and announce the restoration of Dalmasca, treat with the Empire for peace, and persuade the Resistance to stay their hand. I have not come all this way to be asked to reconsider.
A word from you and the Resistance would stop cold, and Rosaria's pretext for joining the war scattered off to the four winds. This was what we had hoped. Alas, circumstances change. A full 2 years have passed since your reported death. Were it to become known you are still alive, I fear it could only worsen our current situation.
Because I am powerless to help.
Nay, in fact it has little to do with you.
Then what? If Lady Ashe were to extend her hand in friendship, perhaps I could then persuade the Emperor. His Excellency will solve things peacefully.
The Emperor Gramis is no more. His life was taken.
Father.
possible cause could we have to lay hand on our Emperor?
A deception and an outrage! The Senate will not stand for this!
A viper amongst our senators?
With Chairman Gregoroth as its head. With what dignity remained him, he confessed to the poisoning and passed his own
A
sentence.
viper with many tails. Much of the Senate is culpable.
We had no choice but to strip the Senate of authority and assign powers of autocracy to myself until such time as order...
Spare me your lies! I see the serpent coiled here before me!
Trace, you speak too freely.
Zargabath! Do not tell me you join in his mama's farce!
With Rosaria poised to invade at any moment, our leader must have a free hand.
The once great House Solidor is now reduced to myself and my dear brother Larsa.
Surely you would not go so far. Vain Solidor! As Judge Magister and upholder of the law, I hereby place you under arrest.
You misunderstand. Vane did not make himself autocrat. It was the very Ministry of Law which you serve. Do you see it now, Drace? When you bared your sword at His Excellency, you bared your sword at the law.
You wear the mama's motley well, Bergen. Such strength. Inhuman.
Zargabath, take the Alexander. You will accompany Bergen and bring Larsa back to me.
Sire.
Your Excellency, Lord Larsa was placed under my charge.
Oh? Perhaps you mistook your orders, then. I can see no other explanation for why you were reporting and conjecturing on my doings to my late father.
Your Excellency.
A hound begging for scraps at the Emperor's table. Would you serve another master, hound? You may fulfill your duty as Judge Magister before us all. She has been tried and found guilty.
Your Excellency, I beg you reconsider.
Do it. I care not. Live, Gabranth. Protect the young lord. Protect Larsa.
Forgive me.
Pray be quick.
And so House Solidor lives on.
Let us suppose you approach the Empire with a peaceful resolution. The late Emperor Gramis would have lent you his ear, that much is certain, but we are dealing with vain Solidor. Should the princess return, he would claim her an impostor, or to tempt the resistance into battle. Vane wants this war, that much is certain. As our ill luck would have it, the man is a military genius.
The dreams have told me thus. To reveal yourself would imperil us all. I see war, and Vane's name writ bold on history's page.
Arcadia's banners fly high. They are making ready for the coming war. According to our latest reports, the Western Armada prepares for war, under Vane's command, no less. The newly formed 12th Fleet has already been deployed. Oh yes, the Imperial First Fleet stands ready. They'll be underway as soon as the Odin's refit is complete. And there is more. The 2nd Caravan Expeditionary Force is being called in to replace the missing 8th, so there will be no gaps. The largest force ever seen!
And then, the Nethicite is the coup de grace. Gran Kiltias, Your Grace. I spoke to you of my succession. Let us put that aside. Should I become Queen of Dalmasca now, powerless as I am, I can protect nothing. With a greater power at my disposal, perhaps then.
It is the Nethicite of which you dream?
I require something far greater.
To wield power against power. Truly, the words of a Hume child.
I am descended from the Dynast King himself.
Indeed. Then you have but one choice. Seek you the other power Wraithwall left.
Does such a thing exist?
Journey across the Paramana Rift to the still shrine of Miriam. There rests the gift he entrusted to the Gran Kiltias of his time. Seek it out. The Sword of Kings can cut through Nethicite. Why he would entrust the power to destroy Nethicite, the instrument of his greatness, to another and not to his own progeny, I cannot say. Awaken Ashelia Benagan, and take up your sword, or your dream will remain but a dream. My dream too fades into day.